Whew. Okay. All right, what's up guys? So kind of wanted to dig in a little bit deeper on my pregnancy. And I know I've been keeping it under wraps, keeping it a secret for a while, but I'm excited that I finally get to share because it's kind of sucked having to keep it a secret just because I always want to be transparent and honest with you guys, so it felt like I was hiding something, which I was. But I do want to tell you a little bit more about my first trimester, what happened, how I felt, what my doctor said, what I've been doing differently, how my life has changed, how my nutrition has been, how my training has been. So especially for a lot of you moms out there who are first-time mom, currently in the process of becoming a mom, or have already had their child, I just kind of want to be another source of information to hopefully help you get back in shape or help you stay in shape regardless of where you're at in your journey. And my purpose in sharing my journey is just to help you feel like you're not alone and you can do certain things to still stay motivated, to still accomplish your goals. You don't want your whole life to change because of 9 months. I'm talking about physically your body. You don't want to let go of yourself, cause so much damage because of 9 months. 9 months is such a short-term part in your life. It's just such a short period of time for you to cause potentially a lifetime of issues later on. So I'm trying to prevent a lot of things from happening. So many different things that I just hear horror stories, and I'm just trying to prevent it. So this is my point in making this video, and I just want to share too. And I thought what better than to reveal the gender of the baby at the end of this video too. So my first trimester was tough, as in I had no energy to do anything. I'm just going to talk to you guys like I'm talking to somebody, so I'm probably going to forget things that later on I want to add on. So reach out if there's anything that I missed, all right? We'll miss a lot of things. But during my first trimester, I was very tired, very exhausted. Some of my symptoms were a lot of nausea. Not too crazy because luckily I didn't throw up, which I'm so grateful for because I'm terrified of throwing up. If there's 2 things I'm terrified of, 3. Throwing up, getting blood drawn, and giving birth. So I'm about to do all of these in a short period of time, so I'm getting over my fears, right? Brings me on to my first blood draw. And you guys will not believe how many tubes they took out of me. No joke, it was 17 tubes. I'm not even kidding. That shit was around her arms. She had so many tubes of blood. I passed out. Had 3 left to go when I passed out. Well, I kind of passed out. I was getting pale. I was weak. I couldn't really respond that much. Everything around was dark. Really, I could still hear, but I didn't have any energy to respond because they just took a lot of blood. So I passed out, but I was like, no, please just continue. Because she was like, 3 more to go. I was like, I'm good, just do it. She's like, I can't do it when you're like this. And I was kind of unresponsive. So I had to wait a few minutes, and then I had to lay down for them to take it out of the other arm. So that wasn't fun. But that's okay. You know, they tested for everything and tested for the gender as well. So I got a lot of information from that. Checked my thyroid too, because that was another thing on my pregnancy. Before I even knew, I don't even know where to start. There's so much information. Okay, where do I even start? I don't know. So what made me think that I was even pregnant was I had a lot of different symptoms. I had very sore boobs, lots of bloating with whatever I ate, and I eat relatively clean food, so I was like, I don't understand what's going on. So I thought that, maybe I have a hormone issue because I did take a pregnancy test just for the fuck of it. I was like, I'm gonna take it, and it was negative. Mind you, I took these tests and I was actually already 3-4 weeks pregnant, and the test was still negative. Anyways, so that's why these tests be bullshitting, because I don't understand why. I took 6 tests and they all said negative. And then when I decided to take one more test just for the fuck of it, because I was like, why not? I was so sure it was gonna be negative. I went to Publix, I got it. I was coming home from my boyfriend's house, and I had to stop by Pelvic to get some of my breakfast food, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just get a pregnancy test just in case. My period was late. It was 4 or 5 weeks late at that point, and having really sore boobs. My boobs were hurting, breaking out, bloated all the time. I was cramping a lot. So in my mind, I was like, my period's about to come. I kept telling myself my period's about to come, and it never came. And sure enough, it was positive. I was in the bathroom freaking out a little bit, and then I called my mom to come upstairs. She was already freaking out just by my tone of voice when I told her to come upstairs. I probably scared her. I just realized that this is going to be a long video because I'm going all over the place. So this is just going to be a word vomit video, okay? So, all right. But my head's all over the place. Whenever I'm talking, like my mind just goes from one thought to the other so quick, and there's just so many different thoughts, and I'm trying to concentrate on keeping it linear, but it's not going to be linear. There's going to be multiple different places that I go to. So my mom freaked out a little bit, had a panic attack, and then I told my dad. I was really scared just because I wasn't expecting that. I didn't want that to happen yet. I know I wasn't ready. I didn't feel ready. And a couple hours after, I told my boyfriend. He freaked out a little bit too because we both weren't ready. But the more I talk to the more people who already have kids, they always tell me something that makes me feel more reassured in that it's going to be okay, that a baby's always a blessing, and that you're in a good situation. It's not like you're in a terrible situation. You have people around you who love you, who are going to help you, who are there for you. So I'm not alone. And that makes me feel really good and happy that I'm not alone. And so I'm blessed to have my family and my boyfriend and his family by my side. Went through the process of, first pregnancy appointment to confirm. Another thing that I'm really scared of that they did was anything that involves something into your vagina that doesn't have to do with your partner, I guess. So pap smears, pelvic exams, anything like that. I can't even, kid you not, I cannot even put a tampon in. I'm just scared of it. It's just not for me. I can't do it, so I use pads. Beside the point. They did an intravaginal ultrasound. Was not expecting that. I was freaking out during the appointment because I saw it on the appointment sheet when I got to the doctor. This whole time I was thinking I was just going to see the baby like normal, like a normal ultrasound. Never in a million years did I think that that's a thing. I had no idea that was a thing. You go in there to see an ultrasound. I didn't know that. But I was excited because I did see the baby, and you could see the head. You can even see like little eyes formation, the nose, like the profile. So you hear the heartbeat. Everything looked really good. So as far as lifestyle changes, what did I do? Once I found out, I have this 2 lotions that I'll take pictures of. These 2 lotions that I've been using that my mom has used, that a lot of people who I know have used and swear by it. My mom doesn't have any stretch marks, by the way. She never got them, so hopefully it's a genetic thing and I don't get them. But I've been putting it every single day after I take a shower. No fault. Every single day I've been rubbing it all over my torso, my butt, my legs, my inner thighs. I already have some stretch marks on my butt and my inner thighs, and some of my boobs too, but I'm trying to prevent more. So I put it everywhere, every single day. During my first trimester, I did not feel like myself. I felt very off. I felt so lazy, tired, unmotivated, and the last thing I cared for was the gym. I still made it happen 4 to 5 times a week because I was like, I'm not going to give up on myself because of not feeling good. That being said, I did listen to my body. Like, I wasn't being stupid and still push myself to a full extreme. No, my body was growing a whole organ. It was growing the placenta, so I still listened to my body. Like, I felt weaker. I knew my limits. As soon as I found out, I already started doing my research about what I can and can't do, how I can modify, and things like that. My workouts didn't change too much other than the intensity, the weights that I use, and the length of my workouts. That was a big one because the last thing I wanted to do was stay in the gym for too long. So my workouts were really way shorter than they used to be. There were some exercises that I hadn't been doing. Squatting, I wasn't squatting that much, but before I found out I was pregnant, I wanted to get back into it. But before I found out I was pregnant. Then I was like, you're pregnant, you're not supposed to start doing things that you don't normally or really do. So I didn't really get into it that much. I just continued doing what I regularly was doing. At mark 10 to 12 weeks, that's when I started feeling a little bit better as far as energy goes. I'm at 15 weeks now. My energy still, it's not the best like it used to be, but I can definitely tell a huge spike and increase in what it used to be, which it sucked for the first couple months. I was taking naps, and I never take naps, and I was taking naps and I still felt tired. Really important thing that I have been doing is my pelvic floor therapy. So I've been going to my therapist once a week, no fault. prior to finding out I was pregnant, as you guys may already know, I was already doing pelvic floor therapy because of urine incontinence. Because when I would laugh too hard or when I would lift too heavy, depending on the lift, I would have trouble holding urine and a little bit would come out. And I found out that that wasn't normal. I thought it wasn't a big deal, but apparently it was not normal. And it wasn't okay. And after going to the therapy, my therapist, she was so sweet and so nice, and I was so glad that I went because she told me so much information about why this is important. And then we even talked about, towards the end of my sessions, we talked about how, like, what if one day I get pregnant, and, you know, like, should I continue doing this? What should I do? How should I do it? Things like that. And literally a few weeks later, I told her, hey, I'm pregnant. So usually whenever you're starting off pelvic floor physical therapy, if you are pregnant and you're in your first trimester, they usually do not want to take you on, just because, not that there's any harm, it's not that there's any harm, but just because the first trimester in itself is already like a cautionary period that you have higher chances of a miscarriage. They don't want to put themselves in that position where they could possibly be an accessory to the miscarriage, if that makes sense. So they wouldn't take you on. However, since I was somebody who had already been going, it was something that I was already been doing, I just have to change. I can still go, but I just have to change the forms of exercises that they do with me. So I used to do like electrotherapy and to strengthen my pelvic floor, which helped so much. Never again did I pee when I lifted or laughed hard. And then now we're not doing that anymore. We're just doing strength. We're doing other things. But yeah, there's still a lot that we have to do. And I have to do my exercises every day, which I haven't been doing every day. I just, like I said, I'm terrified of putting things in. And it's just some of the things that I have to do is just like, I don't know how I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it because I don't want to tear. And I want the baby to kind of slip out easily as possible. So some of the things that helped me with my nausea was my these ginger gums, which I actually have here. So I tried like a couple of different ginger gums, which sucked. This one was the only one that I found helpful. Something like that. It's called C-Band Nausea Relief, a drug-free answer to nausea. So these were really helpful. Like sometimes in the morning, like before I would wake up, I would have to, or sometimes even in the middle of the night, I would just be so nauseous, I just have to take some. I've done my research on nausea during pregnancy, and a lot of times what a lot of women experience when they're feeling a lot of these nausea and vomiting symptoms is because they're deficient in something. So I kept my nutrition very healthy. I try to eat as much whole foods as I possibly could, tried to avoid as many non-processed food, as much processed foods as possible. And I feel like that really helped ease my nausea and ease my, like I said, I didn't experience any vomiting, not even once did I vomit. And I came close to vomiting one day, but I'm so scared of throwing up that it's like, it didn't happen. So I feel like my nutrition really helped with that. I ate a lot of fruit, I kept up with my vegetables, focused on my protein, and just ate whole foods, and I feel like that really helped. And staying hydrated. Another thing is a lot of women, actually that reminds me, gotta drink some water. A lot of women feel a lot of nausea and vomiting because of poor hydration. So you gotta stay hydrated. Even more so than when you weren't pregnant, because when you're pregnant, your blood volume increases, like you need more water, so make sure you're drinking water. Another very annoying thing that I started feeling, not in the beginning as much, but kind of like towards the middle and end of the first trimester, was constipation. So I try to increase or keep up with my fiber, but if I were to eat out one day or my fiber wasn't like on point, I will feel it so much. So constipation sucks. And then about a couple weeks ago, I was like, it's getting pretty bad, so I have to do something. So I started taking magnesium citrate, which I feel like has been helping a little bit. I did have some food diversions. So I love coffee and I love mushrooms. Every morning, I have to have those two as part of my breakfast, otherwise it would be a terrible day or a terrible breakfast, and I'll get mad. I started really not liking either of them. Once I found out I was pregnant, I had to dramatically decrease my caffeine intake, so I stopped drinking pre-workout, and I only had half a cup of coffee in the morning still. After a while, I kind of got tired of the coffee, and I just didn't want it. I just did not want it anymore, so I started drinking just tea. And then mushrooms, I could not even, that just grossed me out. I think that I still have this aversion to it, but I think soon I'll start to, I ate like pizza with mushrooms the other day and I was fine. Unless like I had it by itself, then I was like, which normally is not normal for me. I would eat it by itself. So I thought that was weird. Coffee, I don't really care for it too much right now, which is insane. Mushrooms, I think I'm gonna start introducing it back whenever I start craving it again, which may be soon, because I don't have this hate towards it anymore. I've been loving fruits. I've been eating a lot of fruit, especially raspberries. I was loving raspberries in the beginning. Another thing that really bothers me is peeing. Usually at night. I have to get up so often to pee at night, and I'm not even big yet, so I can only imagine how I'm gonna be sleeping. I'm using 3 pregnancy apps that I really like, and called Pregnancy Plus. The other one is called What to Expect. The other one's Baby Center. I use all of them. I love all of them. I can see like different things on all of them. One of them, you even have a community in it, so you can ask questions, and the ladies are so quick to answer, which is awesome. Another thing I've been feeling is bloated. So the first trimester, I felt extremely bloated all the time, and it was so annoying. But your digestive system slows down when you're pregnant, and that makes it harder for you to digest food. It makes it slower. So being bloated was kind of normal. What are my doctors saying? So my doctors actually didn't help much and didn't say much. They did tell me on my first appointment, they were like, okay, so these are what you can't eat. There was literally just 2 things that they told me. No sushi and no cold cuts. I was like, that's it? They like I have to be the one ready with questions to ask, or they kind of just assume that you know something. I don't know. But they weren't extremely helpful. I can only imagine somebody who has no idea on anything or doesn't really care to know anything, and them going into their first appointment or appointments afterwards, and the doctor not really like telling them what they need to know. You know, like not once did they talk to me about pelvic floor, how important it is. Not once did they tell me anything really. I'm literally doing the research all on my own. So the doctors, I don't know. I don't really trust them, to be honest. I feel like they're there to help you when it's too late, when like something's already wrong, but they don't really help you to prevent things from happening, which is I want to prevent things from happening. I hate saying bye. I don't know how to say bye. I hate saying bye to people. So see you later. Oh, so for the baby reveal, stop the video right now and tell me if you think it's gonna be a boy or a girl, and then watch the rest.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 2, 1.